This message is simple, but it can change the way you feel every single day. So many people spend their time watching others, thinking about what they are doing, how far they have come, or what they might be thinking about them. Without even realizing it, this slowly takes away their peace. It creates pressure, self-doubt, and a feeling that they are always behind. But the truth is, your life was never meant to be lived by looking at someone else's path. Your energy, your time, and your attention are meant for you. When you keep your focus on others, you forget to check in with yourself. You stop asking what you truly need, what makes you happy, and what helps you grow. This is where many people start to feel lost. Not because they are doing something wrong, but because their attention is going in the wrong direction. The moment you bring your focus back to yourself, something begins to shift. You start to feel a little lighter, a little calmer, and more in control of your own life. This is not about ignoring others or becoming selfish. It is about understanding that you cannot truly feel at peace if your mind is always somewhere else. Healing begins when you choose to come back to yourself again and again. And the more you do this, the more you begin to see that everything you were searching for outside has always been within you. Now, to truly understand this, you need to see why it happens in the first place. Why do we focus so much on others? Most of the time, it starts very early. We grow up being compared, being judged, and being told what is right or wrong based on what others are doing. Slowly, without even noticing, we begin to look outside for answers. We start measuring our worth by how we look next to someone else, how fast we are moving compared to them, or how much approval we receive. It becomes a habit that feels normal. There is also a deep need to feel accepted. People want to belong, to be liked, and to be seen in a good way. Because of this, they begin to think more about how others see them than how they actually feel inside. This creates a quiet pressure to always match up, to not fall behind, and to always be good enough in someone else's eyes. And when that doesn't happen, it can lead to doubt and overthinking. Another reason is fear. Fear of being judged, fear of missing out, and fear of not doing enough. These thoughts keep the mind busy with what others are doing, instead of focusing on what truly matters. Over time, this becomes automatic. The mind keeps going back to others again and again, even when it brings stress. But it is important to understand that this is not who you truly are. It is just a pattern that was learned. And once you see it clearly, you can begin to change it step by step. When this habit continues for a long time, it starts to affect you in ways you may not even notice at first. Constantly comparing yourself to others slowly drains your energy. You begin to feel like you are not doing enough, even when you are trying your best. No matter what you achieve, it never feels complete, because there is always someone ahead, someone doing more, or someone who seems better. This creates a quiet frustration inside you. Over time, this comparison turns into self-doubt. You start questioning your own path, your choices, and even your abilities. Instead of trusting yourself, you begin to rely on what you see outside. This can make you feel stuck, like you are moving but not really going anywhere. It becomes harder to feel proud of yourself because your focus is always on what you don't have instead of what you already do. This habit can also bring emotions like jealousy and insecurity. Even if you don't want to feel this way, it happens because your mind is always measuring and comparing. And the more you do this, the more disconnected you feel from your own life. You stop enjoying your journey because you are too busy watching someone else's. The truth is, when your focus is always on others, you slowly lose connection with yourself. Your peace becomes dependent on things outside your control. And this is where the real damage happens, not just in your thoughts, but in how you feel every single day. There comes a quiet moment when you start to notice this pattern, and that moment can change everything. It is the moment you realize that constantly looking at others is not helping you, and maybe, just maybe, it is time to turn your attention back to yourself. This shift does not happen all at once. It begins with a simple awareness. You catch yourself comparing, and instead of going deeper into it, you pause. You take a step back and gently bring your focus inward. When you do this, even in a small way, you begin to feel a sense of relief. Your mind becomes a little quieter. The pressure to keep up starts to fade. You are no longer chasing someone else's path, and that gives you space to breathe. In that space, you start to see your own life more clearly. You begin to notice your own progress, your own needs, and your own direction. This is where clarity begins to grow. You start making choices based on what feels right for you, not based on what others are doing. There is a sense of control that slowly comes back, not in a forceful way, but in a calm and steady way. You feel more grounded, more present, and more connected to yourself. This shift is powerful because it brings your energy back to where it belongs. And when your energy is with you, you can finally start building a life that truly feels like your own. Now, as your focus slowly returns to you, it becomes important to understand what self-love really means. Many people think self-love is something big or something you feel all the time, but in reality, it is built in small, daily actions. It is the way you speak to yourself when things are not going well. It is the patience you show yourself when you make a mistake. It is choosing to care for your own needs, even when no one else is watching. Self-love is not about being perfect or always feeling confident. It is about being kind to yourself, especially on the days when you feel low. Instead of being your own critic, you begin to support yourself. You start to replace harsh thoughts with gentle ones. When something goes wrong, instead of saying, "I am not good enough," you begin to say, "I am learning, I am growing." This simple change can slowly heal the way you see yourself. It also shows up in the choices you make every day. Taking rest when you need it, setting boundaries, and giving yourself time to grow without pressure. These are all acts of self-love. They may seem small, but they create a strong foundation inside you. The more you practice this daily, the more natural it becomes. You begin to feel safe within yourself. And when you feel safe within, you no longer need to look outside for constant approval. This is how healing truly begins, not in one big moment, but in quiet, consistent care for yourself every single day. As you continue to practice this kind of self-love, something deeper begins to form inside you. You start rebuilding your connection with yourself. For a long time, your attention was outside, so your inner voice may have felt distant or unclear. But now, as you spend more time focusing on your own thoughts and feelings, that connection slowly becomes stronger. You begin to understand yourself in a way you did not before. You start noticing how you truly feel, not what you think you should feel. You become more aware of your emotions without judging them. If you feel tired, you allow yourself to rest. If something is bothering you, you take a moment to understand it instead of ignoring it. This creates a sense of honesty within you. You are no longer running away from yourself. You are learning to stay with yourself. With this growing awareness, your decisions begin to change. You start choosing things that support your peace instead of things that only please others. You become more clear about what you want and what you no longer need. This clarity makes life feel less confusing and more stable. The more you build this inner connection, the less lost you feel. You begin to trust yourself again. And this trust becomes a strong foundation, something that does not depend on anyone else. It is quiet, steady, and always there for you. As you grow this connection with yourself, you begin to notice another important change. The need for approval from others starts to fade. Before, you may have looked for signs that you were doing well, waiting for someone to agree, to notice, or to validate your choices. But now, you slowly begin to understand that not everyone will see your path the way you do. And that is okay. You do not need everyone to understand you in order to trust yourself. Seeking validation from others can feel good for a moment, but it does not last. It keeps you dependent on something outside of you, something that can change at any time. One day you feel accepted, the next day you feel unsure again. This cycle can be exhausting. But when you begin to validate yourself, something becomes more stable. You start to feel a quiet confidence that does not shake easily. Self-validation means you recognize your own effort, your own growth, and your own progress. Even if no one else sees it, you give yourself permission to feel proud, to move at your own pace, and to make choices that feel right for you. You stop waiting for approval and start trusting your own voice. This does not mean you ignore others completely. It simply means their opinions no longer control how you feel about yourself. You listen, but you do not lose yourself. And in this space, you begin to feel more free, more grounded, and more in control of your own life. As you continue to trust yourself more, You also begin to protect your mental space in a better way. You start to notice how certain thoughts, people, or situations affect your energy. Before, you may have allowed everything in without thinking much about it. But now, you become more aware of what supports your peace and what disturbs it. This awareness helps you create a healthier space inside your mind. A healthy mental space is not about avoiding life. It is about choosing what you give your attention to. When you stop comparing and stop focusing too much on others, your mind becomes less crowded. There is less noise, less pressure, and less confusion. In that quiet space, you can think more clearly and feel more at ease. You may also begin to limit things that pull you back into comparison, like constantly checking what others are doing or overthinking their opinions. This is not about cutting yourself off from the world, but about giving yourself the space to grow without unnecessary stress. You are choosing peace over pressure. The more you protect your mental space, the more stable you feel. Your emotions become easier to manage, and your thoughts become more supportive instead of critical. This creates a calm and steady feeling inside you, something that stays with you even when things around you change. As your mind becomes calmer and your focus stays with you, you begin to see a powerful change in the way you live your life. You stop waiting for things outside to make you feel happy, and you start creating that feeling from within. Instead of comparing your journey with others, you begin to respect your own timing. You understand that your path is different, and that does not make it less valuable. You start taking responsibility for your own growth. This means you celebrate your small wins, you learn from your mistakes, and you keep moving forward at your own pace. There is no rush, no pressure to prove anything to anyone. You are no longer chasing someone else's life. You are building your own, step by step. Happiness also begins to feel different. It is no longer something that depends on what others think or what they have. It becomes something quiet and steady, something that comes from knowing you are doing your best and staying true to yourself. Even on difficult days, there is a sense of balance because you are connected to who you are. This is where true growth happens. When you become your own source of support, your own source of motivation, and your own source of peace. And from this place, your life begins to feel more real, more meaningful, and truly your own. As you bring all of this together, you begin to see that healing is not something far away or complicated. It is a simple, daily choice to return your focus to yourself. Each time you stop comparing, each time you choose kindness toward yourself, each time you listen to your own needs, you are healing. It may feel slow at times, but every small step matters. You are not behind, you are not lacking, and you are not missing anything. You are simply learning to come back to yourself, and that is where your true peace lies. The more you choose yourself, the more your life begins to feel calm and steady. You stop chasing and start understanding. You stop doubting and start trusting. And in this quiet shift, you realize that you were always enough. Your journey is yours, your pace is yours, and your growth is happening exactly as it should. Keep going, gently and patiently, one day at a time. If this message connected with you, take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone who may need to hear it, and leave a comment about how you are choosing to focus on yourself. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this.